Greetings, 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 royal family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the weekend edition of the Morning Boogie with me, Royal B. Now, I usually don't work on the weekends, okay? But I had to get on here and I wanted to chop it up with you guys about this topic of Mace and Diddy. So this is going to be interesting. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend so far. Happy Saturday. I know it's early for some, but I am a early bird, so I'm usually up early. So this topic is going to be interesting. For those of you who frequent my channel, then you know that I have a love and a appreciation for all things bad boy, the bad boy era, as far as the music and the artists that emerged from the bad boy era. So when this happened, of course, why not? Why not, produce some commentary and chop it up with you guys? So yes, welcome to everyone in the chat. Good morning, Miss Tatiana. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I just want to wait. I don't want to keep you waiting too long because I think I was like 4 minutes late. I'm on the East Coast, so it is 11:37 a.m. my time. Yeah, so I really kind of want to get into it. Make sure that you are hitting the like button as you are entering the room. Share this live. Have some of your friends, your loved ones, your homies, lovers, friends, join the conversation. So this is going to be a good one. Hopefully I'll be able to be on here longer than my usual, like 30-35 minutes, because it is the weekend. So all of my chores are done. And yeah, so I'm ready. So I got nothing but time. So, man, this weekend, this whole week has been filled with so much shenanigans. But Mace recently called out Diddy. No news there, right? But Mace called out Diddy on his shady business practices. Now, we all know what Diddy does. He told us that he won't stop. And here he is years later, and he is not stopping. Diddy is okay. Let me say this before I press the gas on Mr. Combs. We cannot deny that he created a iconic moment in hip hop. He changed the game for hip hop. C. Johnson, hey, good morning, good morning. That's one of my day ones. That's one of my day ones. I'm so glad that you caught alive. Hope everything is going well. I know it's the weekend. I know you're busy, but thank you for stopping by. That's C. Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. That's a day one right there. That's an OG Royal Family member. So if you're just joining, we're talking about Diddy. I did put it in the title, right? So it's in the title. Yeah. So, honey, going back to Diddy. I got distracted. Sorry. Going back to Diddy. Let's talk about what he did do right. He spearheaded a iconic moment in time in hip hop. He changed the fashion game. He changed the music game. He changed the music videos, like game, not the video game, but like how music videos were put together and shot and directed. Fashion. We cannot deny that Diddy was a instrumental part of hip hop. Can't deny that. Like I said, and I probably will be repeating this throughout the live, being that people are joining in. The bad boy era was just my favorite time in hip hop. And we can't deny that Diddy spearheaded that. He had the dopest artists, he had the dopest videos, the dopest songs, rappers, singers. It was a whole movement. Okay, so we can't take that away from Diddy. Now on the business side, okay, his business practices are shady. He is not the only one, though. There are many music executives that we probably won't even recognize if we pass them on the street that have done shady things as far as their artists are concerned and as far as the music business is concerned. But that doesn't give Diddy the right to be the same. I am convinced, having grown up throughout the entire 90s era of hip hop and R&B, I am convinced now more than ever that if you want to be like a Diddy or a Jay-Z in the music industry, it's not going to be done like with clean hands. Put it that way. Now, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but there's a lot that I do know, and I don't even need to say allegedly, and I won't say how I know or why I know. But anyway, but I just feel like you can't do it squeaky clean and be as successful as a lot of these moguls. There's always some dirt on their hands, if not on their hands, under their fingernails. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. So here's how it all started. Hopefully most of you have already heard. Recently the Grammys, right? The Grammy Awards took place, and Clive Davis has his, I say infamous, because he's not one of my faves. Clive Davis always has his Grammy party. Always has his party around around Grammy time. So for those of you who are just joining the Morning Boogie live show, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Drop a good morning or drop a greetings. Hit the like button on your way in. All right. So at this pre-Grammy party that Clive Davis always has, yes, it's an annual thing, Diddy was awarded the Industry Icon Award. Okay? Deservedly so. Like I said a few moments ago, for those of you who are just joining, and I'm sorry that I'm going to be repeating myself for those of you who have already been here, but I'm just trying to be courteous to the guests that are arriving after, you entered. Anyway, Diddy is an icon. We can't take that away from us. He gave us a good time during the Bad Boy era. He gave us, he didn't give us Biggie, Valetta Wallace did, but you guys know what I'm saying. He gave us Biggie, who is my favorite rapper. Okay, you guys should know that by now who follow my channel. Anyway, so he won the Icon Award. He was awarded this award, and he gave a speech, an interesting speech. I thought it was interesting. So did Mace. So he basically called out the Grammys. He said that the industry needs to get its act together in terms of diversity. This is what he went on to say in his speech. Oh, I didn't know he received an award. I didn't watch the Grammy. It wasn't the award. It wasn't aired on the actual Grammys show. This was at the pre-Grammy party that Clive Davis has. The same pre-Grammy party where oh God, may she rest in peace. Where Whitney Houston was in her hotel room, deceased, and this pre-Grammy party was going on. So this is an annual thing that Clive Davis does. So Diddy didn't get awarded at the actual Grammys. He got awarded at this party that Clive Davis has every year. So he criticized the Grammy Awards, for snubbing rap and R&B stars in the major categories. Now, who won this year? Was it Tyler the Creator? Oh gosh, I caught that performance online. Anyway, this is not about them. So this is not the first person to criticize the Grammys for its lack of diversity. Remember when I'm a huge hip hop head, okay? Just so you know. This is why stuff like this gets me so excited. And plus I had iced coffee. Remember when Jay-Z snubbed the Grammys and he said that he's not going to be participating in the Grammys because same thing, their lack of diversity as it pertains to the major categories in the Grammy Awards. So Diddy went on to say in his speech, it's so funny because him of all people saying this stuff. So Diddy is demanding a change from the Grammys within a year. So he said he's giving them 365 days to make it right. And just a little, snippet from his speech. He says, so I say this with love to the Grammys because you really need to know this. Every year, killing us, man. Man, I'm talking about the pain. I'm speaking for all these artists here, the producers, the executives, the amount of time it takes to make these records, to pour your heart into it. And we just want an even playing field. So he did also receive, while he was being honored at the pre-Grammy party, Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party, he received an all-star tribute from an artist that he worked with and also, scammed, in my opinion. Mace, Little Kim. Well, Little Kim was never his artist, FYI. Little Kim was never signed to Bad Boy. Diddy did produce some of her records on her earlier albums, and he did represent her as far as like slightly on the management side. But Little Kim was never signed to Bad Boy. I know some people don't know that. I remember back in the day. I think I got into like a heated debate. This was like a long time ago. But anyway, so Mace, Little Kim, Faith Evans, and Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas, can you imagine? We haven't seen him in a long time. So they were the ones that basically, did some salt, performed for him, in honor of him being awarded this icon award. Now, Diddy's speech, his little speech about the Grammy snubbing, black artists. That's basically what he was saying, hip hop and R&B and most black artists and stuff like that. This caused Mace to speak up. And he took his issues to social media like everyone does in this era. So Mace, he claimed that Diddy was underpaying him for song publishing from his early days as a Bad Boy artist. Mace signed with Bad Boy when he was 19 years old. And I think he's 42 now? And Combs still owns the publishing rights for all of Mace's music. This is from 24 years ago. 24 years. Now, Mace did pay Diddy, Diddy paid Mace $20,000. This is what Mace is claiming. He said that, Diddy paid him $20K and Diddy acquired the rights to Mace's publishing for all his music. And Mace said that this made him never want to work with Combs again. I can tell you right now, this might be a real long live because I'm going down memory lane. So Mace went to IG, like I said, he took his grievances to Instagram like everyone else does. And he wrote a long post. I'm going to read this post, y'all. Let's see. All right. This StreamYard thing is new to me. So let me get myself together. I appreciate y'all being here. You could be anywhere else in the world on a Saturday, especially, but you're here with me. All right, let me see if I can do this share screen thing. This stuff is so cool, y'all. That's why I'm doing these live shows, because it's so fun. All right. Okay, I don't think I have it up. I don't think I can share this. Here it is. Yay! All right. Now, this is a long post. So, I do follow Mace on IG. Make sure you guys are following me on IG. I'm trying to be more active on Instagram and Twitter. It's she_royal_b, just like it is here on the channel. All right. So, this is what Mace wrote. I'm going to try to read fast, y'all. But just to give you, to add context to my commentary. He put, at Diddy, I heard your Grammy speech about how you are now for the artists and about how the artists must take back control. So I'll be the first to take the initiative. Also, before we ask for other ethnicities to do us right, we should do us as Black people better. I agree with that, Mace. Mace wrote a Bible scripture. He wrote a long sermon. So he also continued on to say, especially the creators. I heard you loud and clear when you said that you are now for the artists. And to that, my response is, if you want to see change, you can make a change today by starting with yourself. Your past business practices knowingly has continued, forgive me, I'm sorry. Your past business practices, I'm reading this from my phone, knowingly has continued, purposely starved, this is what he wrote, your artists, and been extremely unfair to the very same artists that helped you obtain that icon award on the iconic Bad Boy label. Shots fired. He's right. He is right. For example, you still got my publishing from 24 years ago in which you gave me $20K, which makes me never want to work with you as an artist, as any artist wouldn't after you know someone is robbing you and tarnishing your name when you don't want to comply with his horrendous business model. So he's basically saying that Diddy is a tyrant. If it doesn't go his way, it's no way. Mace continues, however, people would always ask you, what's up with Mace? So I would be forced to still perform to not look crazy when I was getting peanuts and the robbery would continue. So many great moments and people's lives in music were lost. But again, I rode with you in the face of death without flinching, and you still wouldn't do right. He's referencing when Biggie passed away, and I'll touch on that. What he said about how he was very instrumental with continuing on, Bad Boy, keeping the train moving after Biggie passed away. Mace continues. I never said anything because I wanted to wait until I was financially great so I can insured. I guess he wanted to say so I can be ensured that I was addressing this from a pure place and not out of spite. So he's basically saying, I wanted to get my money up so that people wouldn't accuse me of doing this because I'm broke. I totally understand where Mason's coming from. He continues to add insult. You keep screaming black excellence and love, but I know love isn't free. So I offered you $2 million in cash just a few days ago to sell me back my publishing as his biggest artist alive. That always show you respect for you giving me an opportunity at 19 years old. Your response was, if I can match what the European guy offered him, that would be the only way I can get it back. Or else I can wait until I'm 50 years old and it will revert back to me from when I was 19 years old. You bought it for about $20K and I offered you $2 million in cash. This is not black excellence at all. When our own race is enslaving us, this is not black excellence at all when our own race is enslaving us. If it's about us owning, it can't be about us owning each other. No more hiding behind quote unquote love. You changed, give the artists back their money so they can take care of their families. This is what Mace wrote, this Bible scripture, on his IG post. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what did he say that was wrong? People have been calling Diddy out for years on his shady business practices. All right, let me get this off the screen because I'm getting too fancy now, y'all. So, yes, this is what Mace wrote. And I don't disagree. I can't say that I disagree. If there's no agreeing or disagreeing with what Mace wrote. This is his firsthand personal experience. This is his truth. And it just so happens that his firsthand experience and his truth is similar to other people's experiences and their truth, right? That's not a coincidence. Everybody can't be telling the same lie. Now, going back to, what was I going to say? Going back to, going back to what Mace was saying about him being Diddy's biggest artist alive. Mace, man. Mace. And I don't think it's shady, but the truth sometimes hurts. And it's true. Biggie was Bad Boy's biggest artist, but obviously Biggie's not alive. And Mace made sure that he put that in his long scripture that he wrote to remind you, Mace sold records. I remember Charlemagne was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne, no shade to anybody who was born and raised up in any of the southern states, but Charlemagne is not, to me, he's not that knowledgeable of certain areas of hip hop. He's in the know on the business side because he's amassed a great amount of success and he is a cultural icon, in this day and age. But when he said that Mace was corny, I think he was talking to Jim Jones. He did an interview with Jim Jones. He said Mace was corny and Mace didn't sell any records. He has no history of NYC hip hop. I'm a Jersey girl, so New York is like a stone's throw from where I live, or where I grew up in Jersey and where I lived in Jersey. So I said to myself, does he not understand that Mace used to be on mixtapes? Don't let the his shiny suits fool you. M.A.$E is that dude. And he was pushing records and making money for Diddy and for the entire Bad Boy. So when he said that, I said, yeah, this guy doesn't know. So Mace saying in his little statement, his IG statement, that I'm your biggest artist alive, that's facts. That's total facts. So when he said that he still rocked with Diddy in the face of death, little history lesson, ladies and gentlemen. After Biggie passed away, Diddy was working on his album because quiet as it's kept, Diddy wanted Biggie to stay in LA. Biggie went to LA for promotional purposes. He had an album, Life After Death was getting ready to come out. It was already finished, and he wanted to go on the West Coast to show the West Coast love, to promote his album. Biggie and Little C's were out there. So Biggie felt like, you know what, I'm done promoting. So let me come back home. Diddy said, no, you got to stay out there. While Biggie was out in LA, he was also helping put together Diddy's album. What the heck is it called? The Family? What's Diddy's album called? The album cover has like black rock, everybody in black suits looking like they're in like Martha's Vineyard or whatever. And they're standing there. I forgot. That's the song Victory is on there. Yeah, whatever. Diddy's album. Because Diddy wanted to rap. You know what I mean? But he was shy. Diddy even said this. Biggie was the one that kind of encouraged him to rap and kind of help him write his bars and stuff like that. Damn, I wish I could play music on here. Because I want to play that. I want to hear that Victory song right now. Anyway. So Biggie ended up staying longer in LA than he wanted to because he was helping Puffy after he did all of his promotions. If I'm yelling, I'm sorry. I'm passionate about this topic, y'all. Yeah, Biggie wanted to come home. You know what I mean? And Diddy's like, nah, stay out there. This ain't no allegedly either. I'm not talking about how I know what I know. But some of the stuff that you guys can find on the internet, if I'm knowledgeable of it, I can tell you whether it's true or not. And I don't have to say allegedly, and I don't need to say how I know. But just trust me, I wouldn't come on here and lie to y'all. I that's not my style. I don't care if it's two of you in here listening. I'm going to speak my truth. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you are just joining, welcome. Let's see. I'm trying to read these comments. Like, I can't read them on the computer, so I'm looking at my phone. I think I need to calm down. Let me go through and read these comments. C. Johnson, this is a treat. C. Johnson, this is the first time you in the live. Yes, so hypocritical. Wait, that's not what I wanted to. Bear with me, I just started using this StreamYard this week. Yes, it's very hypocritical of Diddy, and that's why I was shocked when I read about this. When I read that he was, black excellence. Look, I'm all for people preaching about black excellence, especially people who are in a position to do so. Diddy has a huge platform. Diddy's a household name. That's great. But sir, I would have respected this speech a lot more if Diddy would have right his wrongs with his artists. If he admitted, hey, I indulge in some shady business practices. I wasn't always good to my artists, but I think that he can't speak out. This is my opinion now, this part. I think that he really can't speak out about the shady business practices because Diddy had somebody to answer to. And that's never an excuse, you know what I mean, to backstab the people who love you, got respect for you. But let me tell you something, man. This music industry, there's a lot that we don't see and we don't know. And trust me, there's a lot that you don't want to know that takes place. So I'm not giving Diddy a pass at all. But I just feel like he had to answer to somebody at that time too. And his life may or may not have depended on it. So, it was cutthroat. But I do think that he should have taken the initiative as a man. If he wanted to be respected as a man, he should have taken the initiative to right his wrongs. And he didn't even have to do it. He doesn't have to do it in public. It would have been nice because I would like to see it. But he should have righted his wrongs. Listen, Mace's publishing is not the only publishing that he is holding on to. And I think this is why I'm getting a little bit excited. You know, I'm not screaming, y'all. If I'm too loud, I apologize. It's the microphone. This man, Diddy, still owns 100% of Biggie's publishing. 100%. No matter what Violetta Wallace will get on a radio station and say, Diddy owns publishing, all of Biggie's publishing. His daughter, Tiana Wallace, she's in her 20s, she has a store in Brooklyn called Notorious with 2 S's on the end. So she sells clothes. She has a little shop in Brooklyn. I've been following her on IG for a very long time. I remember when she launched the store, she opened the store. 2 years ago, she moved to a new location in the same area of Brooklyn. She is not even getting any of the financial benefits of her deceased father. Biggie has a son with Faith, CJ, Christopher Wallace Jr. I see Diddy posing and taking pictures, and CJ's over at his house with CJ. I don't see him in any no pictures, no nothing with Tiana. None. There was a couple of years ago, Diddy did a benefit concert to honor Biggie, or a concert to honor like a memorial on Biggie's birthday. I don't remember the year. This was a while back. Didn't even invite his daughter. Didn't invite Tiana Wallace. That's Biggie's firstborn. So you tell me, when everybody is saying the same thing about you, Diddy, everybody lying? I don't respect. Like I said earlier on in the broadcast, we can't take Diddy's iconic status as it pertains to music and fashion and culture. We can't take that away from him. He changed the game when Bad Boy, he first started Bad Boy and how the artists were. He changed the game with a lot of things. A lot of things. But there were a lot of things that he did, and unfortunately, everything is coming to a head. Every single artist that you work with has ended up in a bad situation. Look at what happened to Shine. Come on. This was my era, guys. I can go on and on and on. I was too young to be on like Hot 97 or on the radio with Wendy Williams, but I'm telling you, I totally could have. Look at Shine. Did him dirty. The Locks. Do you guys remember that entire campaign? Free the Locks, because they wanted to be let out of their contract. And Diddy still owned their publishing. You remember that? They couldn't even, when Diddy let them out of their contract, they couldn't perform legally. Diddy owned the name The Locks, who started off the Warlocks. Like I said, I'm a hip hop junkie. Not this new hip hop stuff, back in the day. The Warlocks were their name. Diddy flipped it and remixed it, then they came out as The Locks. Big artists. They did big numbers. Big numbers. So when, after all of that fight, free the Locks. Remember that? Everybody was like, let the Locks out of the contract. They're not happy. They're not getting money. They realized that they were getting ganked. They went on radio stations and campaigns. It was a whole movement. Like, you know how Rock the Vote was back in the MTV era? Free the Locks was a whole movement. If there was IG and stuff like that back then, it would have been a popular hashtag. Free the Locks. Put it in the chat if you remember. Put it in the chat if you remember. Yep. Love the Locks. Facts. Craig Mack. Craig Mack is another one. Craig Mack wouldn't even perform at the Bad Boy, what is it called? That Bad Boy anniversary or reunion, the Bad Boy reunion tour. Remember when Diddy had Total? He only had 2 out of the 3 members. He had Total, Little Kim. He was trying to convince Little Kim. There was a documentary on Netflix that I seen years ago about, like, him putting that together. It was a good documentary. I don't remember what it's called. He was, before Craig Mack passed away, he was on the phone in the documentary in the parking lot begging Craig Mack to be a part of it. Craig Mack wanted no more parts of Diddy. None. Why? That whole Black Rob, Carl Thomas, Loon. Lord have mercy, God. I can't even go into talking about Loon because that was too deep. Loon. This stuff is you can retrieve all of this information, these interviews, because sometimes these edit things as far as like printed work. They can edit things or whatever. But go look it up. Loon talked about his experience. Shine got a raw. Can you imagine? Shine goes in the club with Diddy, partying. Some stuff jump off. Shine ends up getting a gun charge. Ends up going to jail for what, 4 or 5 years or however many years. How is it that you are artists rolling with Diddy, making you money? I remember when Shine came out, everyone was like, oh my God, he sounds just like Biggie. This is refreshing to hear. Love Shine. Big hit. Barrington Levy, who is an icon in Jamaica, a Jamaican artist. Barrington Levy, he's an OG. In his song. I'm like, how did Diddy get Barrington Levy on the track with Shine? Shine ends up going to jail for several years. You're talking about Diddy signed you. Diddy, who's a powerful man in the industry. How did Shine get 4 years for a gun charge and he walked into the club with you? You expect me to believe that Diddy doesn't have the hottest lawyers? Couldn't have got that reduced to probation? Very similar to Beanie Siegel and Jay-Z. I'm just saying. Everything started to deteriorate. And like I said, Mace speaking out about this. Think about what this man, listen to what this man is saying. He offered him $2 million cash money. Give me my publishing back, Diddy. Diddy goes to him, well, you got to match what the white man is offering. And then you are on a platform receiving an Icon Award. Okay, not saying that you don't deserve the Icon Award, but just preaching about black excellence? And you telling this man who made you money, he made you hot. Diddy's artists made him hot. Yes, Diddy had the brains behind the operation to find the talent, but the talent made you hot. People didn't come to bad boy shows to see brains of the operation. They came for the talent. And it just so happened that you had an eye and an ear for talent, and you were a good salesman. And these people wanted to be, okay, they wanted to get on. A lot of them came from circumstances where economically they weren't doing great. You know what I mean? And the Locks, listen, come on, let's go back. I'm going to be on here for a while. I don't care. I used to listen to, you hear me talk about in my videos how, oh, I remember Radio Wendy. I also remember Radio Angie Martinez on Hot 97. She used to come on in the afternoons. She just so happened to have the Locks. Sheik wasn't there. It was Styles and Jadakiss on the radio. And they were going in. This was back in 2000. I think I was just out of high school. I graduated high school in 2001. So I was, on my way to college. Well, in college. This was either 2001 or 02. And they were on the radio. This is, you can find this probably on YouTube. This was an iconic interview. Jadakiss was pissed off because he wanted his rights to his publishing. And they were on there going in. Come on, if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments. If you remember this time in hip hop, you think this stuff going on now with some of these artists is real, like scandalous? You should have been around for the bad boy era when everything started falling apart. Jadakiss wanted to like drop a refrigerator, threatened to drop a refrigerator on Diddy. He called Diddy a punk. He told him that he's a coward. He said, stop trying to act like he's tough over the phone, because during this interview, Diddy called into Angie Martinez's show. I remember this. He called into her show and he was yelling like, oh, you know where my office is and that. Jadakiss and Styles was like, don't try to act like, you're willing to sit down with us because you're on the radio. You probably got a whole bunch of goons downstairs in your office and you won't let us up. This is when the Locks revealed, or whatever the Locks. Remember, they had to go by D Block. That's where I was. I'm sorry. I'm going to be all over the place. Forgive me, y'all. They had to go by the name D Block, the Locks, because Diddy legally owned the name The Locks. So if the Locks, after they left Bad Boy, because they eventually got let out of their contract, but Diddy owned their publishing. So let's say they would have signed to So Def, because Jermaine Dupri, Jermaine Dupri was cool with Biggie, and Jermaine Dupri also called into the radio on that segment. Let's say they would have signed with a So Def. That was another big record label back in the day. If they would have signed with another record label and they used the name The Locks, guess who would have gotten a chunk of that money from any album they sold? Diddy, because he still owned the name and he still owned their publishing. That's why they had to go by D Block. If you guys remember, put it in the comments. When they were making music, they had to go by the name D Block. They didn't use the name The Locks. And I don't think they don't use the name The Locks anymore. In this interview with Angie Martinez on Hot 97, this is when Angie Martinez worked for Hot 97. She's affiliated with Power 105 now, but she worked at Hot 97. Angie used to come on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Wendy used to come on at 3 Eastern time. This is how I remember this. This is my life back in the day. And they revealed, Jadakiss and Styles P revealed that Diddy still owned Biggie's publishing. They revealed it. They said that he doesn't even share the publishing with his mother, with his daughter, or with his son. And then Styles P said to Jadakiss, like, would you ever do something like that to me? Like, he was talking to Jadakiss. And Jadakiss was like, nah, or vice versa. One of them asked the other that. And they were just saying, like, if something was to happen to you, like, I would make sure your mom's is good. I would make sure that your kids are good. I wouldn't keep the publishing for myself. Like, what kind of foolishness is that? Like, we're really from the streets. Like, this is what they were trying to explain to people. Like, we get all of this corporate stuff, but we're really street dudes. Like, this is our bread and butter. And you guys you are messing with my bread and butter. They were angry, and they had every right to be. Guess who called in? Little C's. Little C's called into to the show, and he confirmed that Diddy still owns Biggie's publishing. This was back in 2002. I was out of high school, I know, for sure. I was out of high school. I was in college. 2002, yeah, like probably right after high school, freshman year of college. Yep, confirmed it. Little C's confirmed it. Little C's is not speaking up about a lot of stuff that's coming out as it pertains to Diddy, and it pertains to everything, going on with Bad Boy. Now here it is, Mace. And I don't care what anyone says, when someone stops your ability to be able to eat, figuratively, you're going to speak up. And he said it in his post. He said, I bit the bullet. I was still performing, even though you were paying me peanuts. I still rode with you in the face of death. Meaning after Biggie died. After Biggie died, Mace was still writing for artists that were on Bad Boy. Go and check out Angie Martinez. This is newer Angie Martinez. She's with Power. Like I said, she's affiliated with Power 105 now. She did an interview with Mace. Was it last year or the year before that? When Mace is, he said he's no longer a pastor. And I think him and Jim Jones were going at it or something like that. And she had Mace on on her show. It's on YouTube because she has a YouTube channel, Angie Martinez. This man, you're stopping somebody's ability to eat. And can you imagine? Can you imagine how some other bad boy artists who may not have, who may not be able to speak because of non-disclosure agreements, or may not have the financial fortitude to be able to go back and forth to court. Mace said, "I have $2 million cash." Mace is worth like $10 million. The numbers don't lie. Mace is Bad Boy's biggest selling artist alive. He's not lying. He's not lying. I had the Harlem World CD, MA$E. That album was hot. I used to have to listen to it on the sneak because my mother wasn't playing that. None of that hippity hop with all that foul language. Not in her house. Fun little story. I remember when there was a record store that was like downtown in the city that I lived in Jersey. So, get on the bus and go downtown with a couple of friends or what have you, and go to the record store or whatnot. It was a different time then. Like, I was young, real young. So we could go downtown, and I'm a trustworthy, I was a trustworthy kid. I'm a trustworthy adult. So I wouldn't do anything to get myself in trouble. But anyway, what I'm saying is, got the Little Kim album, Hardcore CD. Ooh, wee. Baby. When my mother found the album, okay, she heard the music, and I'm like, yeah, what? You got it going on? What? Now, you guys know the lyrics to that song. Woo-wee. Let me tell you something. I'm lucky I made it out alive, put it that way. When she heard that, what is this garbage? Girl, honey. I made it out alive, y'all. My mother was so disgusted. She was so disgusted. And I used to know all the words to every song on that album, Hardcore. Shout out to Little Kim. I love you, no matter what you look like now. Hardcore, man. My gosh. That was CD player. CD players on my little boom box. I had the CD player on the top and the tape in the front, the tape deck in the front. Honey, I don't know where my mother came from. I miscalculated the time, but and I used to blast the music in the house. When she came home, I didn't hear the car pulling up because I had the music blasting. I used to be scared of I'm trying to remember what part did she walk in. I don't remember, but honey, let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Good times. Good times. Yep, Diddy took advantage of them. Let me catch up. See, Johnson, No Way Out. Thank you. See, I'm looking at the comments on my phone because there's a delay on this StreamYard thing. It shows the Yeah, Craig Mack died. See, Johnson, you didn't know that? Yes, Craig Mack passed away. Carl Thomas was a man. I'm just going through reading. I'm surprised Shine didn't tell the truth after he served that time. But you know what? Where is he now? Does he live in Israel or something like that? I think him and Diddy are good for now. But yeah, he probably has a non-disclosure agreement for a lifetime. Oh, that's what the Locks were Jadakiss and Styles P were saying when they were on the radio with Angie Martinez. Jermaine Dupri ended up calling in, and he ended up asking questions about their contract. And Jada kept saying that the contract was for a lifetime. So Jermaine Dupri was on the phone. And he was like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. He was like, for a lifetime, my G. That's why they were so angry. Yeah, right? Gives us an all-new meaning to can't stop. Won't stop. Yep, Diddy did take advantage of them. I'd like to believe, maybe I'm naive, but I would like to believe, like I said, because he had somebody that he had to answer to, that he was taken advantage of, so he in turn felt like he had to take advantage of people too. I know it sounds so crazy, but I don't know. I knew all the words to Honey. Let me tell you something. I don't remember. I know it was that song. I used to be scared of it. I don't remember what part it was that I caught that, and I caught that fist. I don't remember exactly. She was so disgusted, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. I know good and well I wasn't supposed to be listening to that. I was in grammar school, and everybody was like, did you get the hardcore album? Yeah, you got it. I got it too. Baby, we snuck. Some people snuck and bought it. That's hilarious. I had no business singing that. I probably would have done the same thing, man. Like, what are you mind you, not even knowing about no Heather Hunter, Janet Jackson. I didn't know nothing. I'm like, I don't even know what I was singing about. I knew what she was talking about, but Little Kim, almost lost my life for you, girl. Almost lost my life for you. No, yes, no way out. I can't. Let me pin. I want to pin that comment. Thank you, C. Johnson. I love it. You ever get frustrated when like you can't think of something and it just bugs you? No Way Out. That's the name of the album. Remember Columbia House, y'all? Remember Columbia House used to have like the you get like 100 CDs for a penny, and then if you subscribe to Columbia House every month, they would send you a new CD, and you had the option to either keep it or send it back. So I could, my mother's like, yeah, you could whatever, because she know how I was about music. So they would send. I remember they sent I think Wyclef's album. I had Tamar Braxton's album. I had a lot of albums. I guess she didn't want me to go down to anybody's record store no more, buying no Little Kim. But yeah, I still have those CDs, still to this day, each and every one of them intact. Brandy's album. That's how I got No Way Out. Life After Death. I remember I bought the double CD. I still have that. Ready to Die, still have that. The remastered one as well. I should have been a DJ or like a music producer, because I just have a love for music, like hip hop music. I love vocals. But yeah, just good times. This is just a walk down memory lane. So I mean, as far as Mace is concerned, I don't want to victim blame or victim shame. But what in the world? I mean, 19, you're not reading any contracts. People don't even read the terms and conditions of some of these apps that we download. So you got to think about it. 19, he just wanted to get on. He just wanted to rap. I get it. I mean, it's no excuse, but I just need to know, like, what lawyer advised them to sign these contracts? And Diddy is wrong in a sense, but it is business. And I just feel like if something wasn't right, then Mace should have had attorneys like look over the terms of the contract and fix it. But like I said, he was 19. He was just like, what? I'm going to get a chance to work with, I'm going to be on Bad Boy. What? I'm going to make music. What? Just the excitement alone. I'm an adult, in my 30s. I don't even read all the terms and conditions of certain things. Like, accept the terms and conditions. You're like, yeah, just move on. So at 19, I mean, I get it. But Diddy probably had lawyers that, he probably hired attorneys like for these artists that worked with him exclusively, right? He probably like, yeah, this is good. This is so and so. This is a lawyer. They probably were the label's lawyers, so that everybody eats and everybody benefits. Many people. Oh no. Many people were in collections for Columbia. Oh, they probably were. I remember after a while we stopped the my mother's like, okay, well, you get a little money every 2 weeks or so you could pay for this yourself. And I was like, not with my money, because I think it was like $9.99 or something like that. And after a while, we just canceled the subscription or whatever. But that is funny. Yes, 10. Oh God, that is hilarious. You know what? I wonder if a lot of people were. See, Johnson, you the building. I'm so happy you're here. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think they had their own. Yeah, because you think about it, they couldn't afford anything. They were, starving artists just starting out. They didn't think, let me come to the table with my own attorneys. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly probably what happened. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. The attorneys probably work for the label, and that's how they got ganked. But I mean, come on, man. It's been what, 24 years. Like, did he really? Really, did he? I don't. Well, you know what? You never know. Because I was about to say, you're not hurting for money, did he? Are you really? But then again, you never know. He probably has debt up the yin yang. Diddy probably in collections for Columbia House. You never know. I'm just saying. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Mm-mm-mm. For those of you who are just joining the chat, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just, like I said, I don't work on the weekends, but I knew that I had to cover this topic. This topic did not make it into the weekly What the Friday show. So I said, you know what, that's okay. I didn't feel like doing any more editing or moving around topics, so I wanted to come on here and talk. And it's Saturday. It's my off day. So my chores are done. I did all of that stuff yesterday. Did a little bit of food shopping, just for fruits and cleaning supplies. So, I had to make several different trips for different things. And I was able, that's why the What the Friday video went up late yesterday, because I was, cleaning. I do all my like laundry and cleaning and stuff. Usually on Fridays. I don't really go out to the club. Plus it's Super Bowl weekend. So everybody's going to be having like Super Bowl parties and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be out on the street doing anything. Just a laid back, chill weekend. It's kind of gloomy. And it's early, so I just plan on relaxing and catching up on some TV and some movies. But yeah, this story, I had to jump on this. I definitely had to jump. That Columbia House comment is gonna have me cracking up all day. I'm goofy like that. So, yeah, exactly. And so if the record label hired the lawyers, then of course the lawyers are going to be looking out for them. It's just a shame. It's a sad situation. Diddy, if you would have kept your mouth shut and you would have just said, thank you, I appreciate this award. I've been through trials and tribulations and I've come a long way, and I'm very humbled by this award. That's it. I mean, people probably still would have called you out, but just the audacity of you, the audacity of you to preach about Black excellence, which is a good thing, but you of all people, that's like Jesse Jackson back in the day. Messy Jesse Jackson was preaching about unity, and man, he had his hand in everybody's pocket, and he was the ops. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, look, like I said, we're not taking away. We're definitely not taking away the fact that C. Johnson, I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad. I appreciate the support. I know you got, you working, you got work to do. I'm wishing you luck. Stay in the fight, hustle, hustle, hustle. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by, C. Johnson. It's always love. That's day one royal family member right there. But yeah, I just don't know. This whole, what's going to become of this now? What is going to become of this? Diddy has yet to give a statement. I've been checking social media and, refreshing and seeing if he's given a statement. I don't think he's going to say anything. What is there to say? What is there to say? I mean, he might try to, do something on social media or post something on social media acting as though he's willing to sit down and talk with me. But what is there to talk about? The man offered you $2 million cash and you declined his offer because he couldn't match what, some white executive probably is willing to pay him for it. Like, you don't care about this man's legacy. You don't care about this man's bread and butter, from this point on, I'll do right and correct as many wrongs as I can. Honestly, that is a freaking positive comment. Yes, that's all we can do. Nobody is perfect. And I hate even saying nobody is perfect. It's not about being, perfect, but right your wrongs if you can. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them. Or if someone brings something to your attention that you've offended them or hurt them in any shape, form, or fashion that you're not aware of. Because I think people play dumb a lot. People play dumb a lot because it just, it's they don't have to own up to what it is that they did, and they don't have to take accountability, so they can walk around and play dumb. Mace is not the first, and I doubt he will be the last person to call out Diddy's shady business practices. I'm pretty sure if Biggie was alive, he would have a whole lot to say. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure if Craig Mack was alive, he would have a lot to say. Right your wrongs. If you really believe the message that you're preaching, if you truly believe that, and you actually stand by what you say, you're not doing it to make yourself look or sound good, then, be a man of your word. Exhibit black excellence. The bad boy era was over a long time ago. You were a young man then. You're a grown man now with children. So exhibit that same black excellence that you are preaching about on a public platform, accepting an icon award. It's not a matter of me being judgmental, but come on, like, do we need any more false, not prophets, but fake preachers or fake motivational speakers in our community, in the black community? No, we don't. We had enough of that. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, there's one in every community. I ain't talking about every community because I don't belong to every community. Makes sense? It's just, it sucks. It totally sucks. This man first of all, can we just please just take a moment to drink in the fact that Mace has liquid cash in the amount of $2 million? Now, hopefully he got it, in a righteous way, Pastor Mace. Hopefully he wasn't dipping in people's tithes and offerings. I'm just saying. Can we acknowledge that? Can we acknowledge that? I think I checked my bank account after I went food shopping. I don't know, y'all. I'm all right, but the house note is due and it's paid. But I ain't got $2 million cash. You know what I'm saying? And he has that, here, cash money. Take that. Diddy said, nah, you ain't offering me enough. So Diddy, you basically are confirming what we've known. At price, you can be bought and sold. And you preach about, you see Jay-Z don't be saying nothing because Jay-Z know his hands ain't all the way clean. He may have washed off most of the dirt off his hands, but he still got a little residue under his fingernails. You don't see Jay-Z saying this stuff. He's like, you know what? But Diddy has always been bold and wild and in your face, but Tatiana, but why do people act like pastors shouldn't get money? Hey, I'm not against it. I understand what you're saying. I don't think, personally, this is just my opinion. I don't think that, well, no, let me speak for myself. I can't have a problem with pastors or anybody getting money. I feel that it is a little deplorable how they do it. For those of you who don't know, I am a psychology major. That is my field of study. I've earned 2 degrees in psychology, right? So when you see people being preyed upon, not PRAYED, preyed on, and they are given a false sense of hope at the expense of them emptying their pockets, that's disheartening. Not every pastor is like that. I mean, I don't know every pastor. I'm just talking about the ones that we've seen maybe on television that have been exposed. In my personal life, I know 2 that were basically skimming and scamming people in the neighborhood. In certain areas, you see a lot of churches in like in the hood. And reason being, churches, they don't pay taxes. And you have a lot of people who are in dire straits in the hood, right? They are broken. Their families are torn apart. They live in conditions that they want to get out of. So they need encouragement, motivation. They need hope. Like there's a way out. I'm going to get out of this. So what do? They go to the church, the neighborhood church. Everybody gathers together on Saturday or Sunday, depending on your religious affiliation. And you have people and a person, in the church, head of the church, basically telling you, what God can do. And they themselves are not practicing what they preach. And that's fine. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to judge anybody. Everybody walks their walk. What's different, right? But I don't personally think that there is anything wrong with pastors getting money. It's how you get it. It's how you get it. If you're getting it, if you're petitioning for people to pay money for a building fund to fix the roof, right? The roof damn near caving in after 3 years of you or months or a year of you begging for money for the building fund, the roof damn near caving in, but pastor got a nice, X5 or S550 or even a Rolls Royce. I have a problem with that. Because then let people see, you judge people by their fruits or whatever, right? So if people are continuously giving money for a whole 6 months and they don't raise a couple of $100,000 and the roof is caving in, and initially you said, come on, everybody, pass that collection plate around for the building fund, we need a new roof, and the roof is caving in, but you got a new car, your wife got a new hat, new bag, the first lady looking fly, the pastor and first lady's house is nowhere near in the neighborhood where the church is amongst the people who live in that neighborhood. It ain't in the ghetto. It's in the suburbs somewhere. That I have a problem with. But I don't think that that is exclusive to pastors. I just think that that's people. It's just, see, Tatiana, you making me go deep. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I just feel like just don't be keep it real. And too many people are out here getting scammed anyway, not outside the church, and in the church, just in general. Too many people are getting scammed. And there are a lot of people who are looking for something better as it pertains to, going to a church. There are a lot of people who are looking to get out of the circumstances that they're in. They're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. And you have somebody who has the title of pastor. Those names hold weight. So people think that they are superior beings. Like, oh yes, they got the direct phone number for God, for the Almighty God. So when this pastor, reverend, deacon is preaching these words, these people who are broken, these people who are looking for a light at the end of the tunnel, they are going to hang on to every word that pastor say. So if pastor say, God is telling me that, somebody in here is gonna XYZ is gonna happen to them. And if they sow a $50 seed, you know how many people are gonna think that that's them in a congregation of, let's say, a congregation of 200 people. There's gonna be somebody going through a personal situation at that moment. Maybe 50% of the church is going through a personal situation. They're gonna think that that's them. And then what are they gonna do? They're gonna sow that $50 seed. So you're gonna have 50% of the congregation. So that's 100 people sowing a $50 seed. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, as it pertains to the church, there's a lot of gimmicks that go on with a lot of pastors. I'm telling you, they're trained to be motivational. Some of them are trained to be motivational speakers, and some of them don't hear nothing, not a peep or a whisper from God. But because they have pastor, reverend, deacon, or prophetess or prophet, people believe them. People believe like their word is bond. When you go to the dentist, you trust that your dentist is giving you the right information, right? Because you know that this dentist has gone to dental school. They've been trained in this profession. right? You're not gonna say, "No, that dentist is lying. I ain't got no cavities." You're gonna trust what the dentist is saying. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with pastors getting money. They ain't giving me none. I'm just saying, like, get it how you live. But I can understand people's frustration with I can understand people's frustration with with the church. But I honestly I say that it's unfortunate that Christianity and the church and the gospel are all associated with people like that who call themselves pastor deacon. Like, we have to remember that these people are human beings first before they acquire a title. But some people don't think that deep. They don't care. They just look at it as like, oh, he's scamming the church. Yeah, but this is a human being. So take pastor out of it. It's just another human being scamming people. The ones that do anyway. Well, whatever. But yeah, man, this an hour done flew by fast. But yeah, this whole Mace calling Diddy out, he is actually saying something, because he has been in the fight with Tatiana and took me to church, honey. Okay. I'm happy that Mace is speaking out, because like he said, that he held on to this for a long time. He put aside his pride. He still rocked with Diddy. He was still performing, and he wasn't even getting paid. And he said he wanted to wait until he acquired some money, some cold hard cash. And he's done so. So he came to him. He offered $2 million. $2 million, and Diddy said, "Nah, that ain't good enough." I agree, and that's the thing. Pastors are regular people too, and not all churches like that. True. I hear a lot of people say as if that's what the church is all about. Yeah, it's unfortunate. See, this is a prime example of one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. You understand? But people, you have to be wise. You have to be wise and know, just because somebody has a title before their name, a doctor, a first lady, a prophet, deacon, reverend, father, so and so. You got to remember that they are human. They were human first before they acquired this title. That's what I have been saying since I was young. And when people say like, "Oh, Deacon Leroy Green," and I'm just like, I don't care about no deacon nothing. Deacon Leroy Green is a man in a cloth. Yeah, but I saw Deacon Green coming out the go-go bar down the street. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, was he in there preaching? Ladies and gentlemen, I am not trying to be offensive. I just want you to know that I am really this ridiculous sometimes in real life. This is not this is not an act at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about your title. Like, people's titles, no disrespect, but people's titles don't mean anything to me. Like, when I hear someone is, Dr. So and so, I'm like, oh, okay. But what are they about? Like, I judge you by how you act, how you treat people, your outlook on life. What are your opinions about, people and things? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. People get caught up in titles, and that always leads to destruction. It always leads to destruction. And like I said, unfortunately, one bad apple spoils the bunch. And it's a shame, because there are so many churches, there are so many places of worship, there are so many, people with prophetic gifts that get lumped into that get lumped in with the people who are, out here skimming and scamming the folks. That's unfortunate. But you know what? It's all good. The good Lord will separate the wheat from the tare. Okay. Tatiana, you really got me. You really got me in my bag right now. That's what's up. I love that. I do appreciate y'all joining me here on the Morning Boogie. And it's funny, because I had planned to do the Morning Boogie Monday through Friday, but I felt led. No, all jokes aside, I felt led. So I said, darn, when am I going to talk about this topic? I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'll just jump on Saturday. I made sure all my stuff was, my housework, my chores and things like that were done, and situations were handled. And So now, see, this how come I could be on here. Usually I'm on here for like 35 minutes, but look, rocking out. And look what happened. Yes, we're having a good time here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Morning Boogie Morning Show with me, Royal B. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Costs you nothing. We would love to have you a part of the royal family. So, Diddy and May. So where do they go from here? Now what? Let me go on Twitter. Let me see what Twitter is saying. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter and Instagram. I am active, but I do not post a lot. So it's at she_royal_b, just exactly how it's spelled on the channel here. Oh yeah, they said Diddy and Jay make their money exploiting people. Wayne just did a whole interview speaking on how Jay helps him. Yeah, you guys noticed that Jay-Z and Diddy are real chummy lately. Like Jay-Z has his little functions, and you always see Jay-Z and Diddy. They're like Batman and Robin now all of a sudden. Right? Now I knew Diddy was cool. I mean, not Diddy. Jay-Z was cool with Biggie. They went to the same high school together. They both grew up in Brooklyn. They weren't cool like that in high school, but they knew of each other. And, they kind of put each other on. Remember that song, Ain't No Ninja, with Foxy Brown? Biggie was in that video, remember? Biggie wanted to sign Foxy Brown. He wanted her to be on Junior Mafia. But ended up, I don't want to say this. Little Kim ended up being on Junior Mafia, but he wanted Foxy Brown. I know somebody's going to argue with me in the comments because my last Little Kim video, some people were triggered, but it's the truth. I love Kim down though. I love Foxy Brown too. I love both of them. That was the 90s. What people tried to make Cardi B and Nicki Minaj be, this beef between them, what people hyped this stuff to be. Back in the day, it was Foxy Brown and Little Kim. Just to, make it make sense. I'm just waiting. I really want to see what Diddy's gonna say. Everybody's in Miami. It's Super Bowl weekend, so everybody is down in Miami. Offset done punched somebody in the face in a club. Him and Cardi B, because somebody accidentally spilled champagne. That's how the story goes. On her, she got a little bit of splash of champagne on her, so Offset's punching somebody. They ran out the club. He's paying homage to Kobe Bryant and the other victims of the helicopter incident at Shaq's fun house party in Miami. It's just, dang it, Mace. I just really wish that you had representation. But then again, think about it. 19 years old. Somebody offers you $20,000 and the opportunity to be famous and be on Bad Boy label. Of course Mace would take it. He's not stupid for taking the deal. I mean, people are only saying that, he should have read his contract. They're saying that now because here we are years later and everything has unfolded and all, people are no longer living and Bad Boy artists are broke and this and that. But think about it. Put yourself in Mace's position. You from the hood in Harlem, hustling to survive. You want to be cool. You could rap. And somebody offers you $20,000. He probably never even thought of that much money being in his possession. Somebody says, here, Diddy, of all people, look. I'm going to give you $20K cash. You sign this contract, you're going to be famous, you're going to sell millions of records. You know what I'm saying? It's what's up? What's up? Of course he's going to jump on the opportunity. Some people would take less than that if they were offered in that moment, right? So, I don't know. Mace calls out Diddy, y'all. Mace calls out Diddy. If you guys saw that Angie Martinez interview that Mace did recently with that Mace sat down with Angie Martinez and he did an interview and turn my mic over. And he basically was, talking about Diddy, and now recently he calls out Diddy, but he didn't do it in a disrespectful way though. I don't think he wasn't disrespectful. He just told his truth, and we all know what Diddy gives, man. There's so many artists that could say the same. There's so many artists that have said the same thing. What am I talking about? There's so many artists that have said the same thing about Diddy. So Diddy out here scamming the kids. Is this it? There it is. This is when Diddy had his Sean John. Remember this? He had his Sean John clothing line. Oh, Diddy and Mace. I'm messing around with this screen share thing, y'all. This is dope. It just sucks. It really does. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about this. If you heard about Mace and Mace calling out Diddy. Yet another artist is calling out Diddy for his shady business practices. I listen. I still feel some type of way because this man still owns Biggie's publishing. Not a dime goes to Biggie's daughter. Not a dime. Not even his mother. Not even his mother. Everybody confirmed that. Can we talk about the night that Biggie died? No? Let me tell you something. You would think that Biggie was like my big cousin for real, for real. Like you would think that we were actually blood related. Because it's just so much information that, has been revealed. And it's just like, and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I think that nothing will happen. I don't think that anything will happen. I think people will still continue to support Diddy. Everybody has supporters, whether you love them or hate them. Everybody has supporters, right? I don't think anything's gonna happen to Diddy. I don't think that he will be canceled. This whole cancel culture. I don't think he'll be canceled. If that's the case, he would have been canceled a long time ago. I don't think he'll be canceled. I still think that there are going to be people who support him. There are going to people. They are iced coffee. There are going to be people who will and will not support him, and that's fine. Like I've been saying, all broadcasts doesn't take away the fact that Diddy and his artists that he discovered or found or put on changed the game as it pertains to hip hop. They gave us music. They gave us fashion. They gave us entertainment on all levels. On all levels. And when we hear these songs from back in the day, it takes some of us to a happy time in life. It takes some people to a not so happy time in life. I know that Life After Death album just reminds me that Biggie died before he could even get to marvel in the success of his album. That album came out in the summer that the year that I was graduating from 8th grade. Mm-hmm. Yep. Died 16 days or like two or three, almost 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks before the album was released. The album was already done. So it takes me back to that time and that whole summer of 97. Yeah, that's when I graduated 8th grade. In summer 97, that whole summer, everybody was bumping Life After Death. Still have the CD myself to this day in its original packaging, double disc CD. Memories. It just takes me back to that time, where music was dope. I remember the Fugees came out when I was like in the 5th grade. It was just a good time back then. Those memories cannot be erased. So Diddy and all bad boy artists were responsible for that era. But behind the scenes, we're young. If you were young growing up in that era, you had no idea what was going on. And then you started to hear rumors. And then years later, you started to see, deaths. And then years later, you start to see things fall apart. And now look, chickens are coming home to roost, man. It's February. We got January down 2020. January was crazy. Crazy. Everyone's getting exposed. Everything is getting exposed. Deaths are happening. I mean, this is a natural part of life, yeah, but 2020 wasted no time. You're talking about 3 days in, 2-3 days in, 3 or 4 deaths in a week. This is the beginning of January. People being exposed, people on trial, exposed. And like I said, even though this information is not new as far as Diddy and his shady business practices, it's kind of disheartening. I would feel hurt if I was Mace too. You up here preaching about Black excellence in front of these people that don't even know that you're holding on to artist publishing and refuse to relinquish it to its rightful owner. Listen, Mace has made Diddy more than $2 million. So I feel like, haven't you gotten enough, Diddy? That is a wow. Mace still has respect. I don't know if it's respect, but Mace is still willing to offer you $2 million for his work that he created, because Diddy didn't write anything. Offered you $2 million for his work that he created, that made you, Diddy, well over $2 million, still making you money. And the man has to come to you with his own money, his own $2 million to get his stuff back. When originally you bought his publishing for only $20,000, not $200,000, 20. So you've made quadruple the return on your initial investment of $20,000. And you mean to tell me this is probably like 42, 43 years old, and he has to beg you for his publishing with cold hard cash in the amount of $2 million? And you look him in the face and you tell him, maybe he didn't look him in the face, I'm being dramatic, but you tell him, nah, only if you can match what these European, and I think Mace is being politically correct, because I don't think Diddy said, what the European man is offering me. I don't think Diddy said that. What? That with anything, when Mace in the studio, still helping you write No Way Out, writing music for your artists, still selling records. Even prior to that, making you millions and trillions of dollars, and continue the legacy alive when you signed him, growing the bad boy legacy. And you telling me about somebody that don't have anything to do with the culture, number one, or doesn't have anything to do with how bad boy became bad boy? That's a slap in the face. That is a huge slap in the face. Not only are you holding on to my publishing that you only came out of your pocket $20K for, you won't give it back for $2 million. And you telling me about what some other person is offering you. Wow. And then in the same breath, you are on a public platform accepting an Icon Award, preaching about Black excellence, threatening the Grammys, telling the Grammys that they have 365 days to get it right as it pertains to inclusivity with rap and R&B artists, Black artists, basically. You want to level the playing field. You want to level the playing field? You paid him $20K, Diddy. 20 something years later, you still holding on to his publishing. He's offering you $2 million. And you're talking about that's not good enough because somebody else is offering me more. Someone who had nothing to do with the building of Bad Boy, nothing to do with maintaining Bad Boy and keeping Bad Boy afloat, nothing to do with the culture. And you slap Mace in the face by saying, nah, this guy is offering me more. Unless you can match that, no. But then you're preaching about black excellence and leveling the playing field. Come on, Diddy, man. Now, I heard some things about you, bro, but that's low, even for you. Well, maybe not, but I'm just saying, for what the public knows anyway. For what the public knows and what they've seen. I just got sad all of a sudden. That's depressing. And he's right. And Mason's just not talking about himself. He's talking about other artists, you know, who's publishing and rights to their music and their intellectual property that you're holding on to. Meanwhile, you have artists that have made you millions and trillions of dollars, still keeping you rich, and they can't even feed their families. Some of these previous Bad Boy artists. That's a shame. Biggie dies. You used his name, you used his celebrity you ran it into not even run it into the ground, but you used it until you probably couldn't use it no more. You have a concert, a benefits concert or whatever it is for Biggie's birthday, honoring Biggie. You don't even invite his daughter, his firstborn seed. You don't invite her? But when Tiana Wallace talks about how Diddy's a snake, nobody wants to hear that. And it's so funny that sometimes people turn a blind eye. And I can understand and respect people not wanting to be involved in certain things. I can understand and respect people not wanting to, you know, ruin things for themselves. I get all of that. No, you know, I get all of that. But when Tiana says these things, she's a hater. Or when people say, you know, Diddy is this, Diddy is that, he's shady, they just hating. People always want to say that somebody is hating, and people don't care until it happens to them. Not saying that that's the case with Mace, but Mace he made it a point to say, I wanted to wait until I was in a stable financial position to be able to make the offer to buy his publishing back. So that basically people won't say, oh, you hard up for money, you just doing this, you hating. Why all of a sudden now? It's been 24 years. Why now you trying to out Diddy? Let me tell you something. You own something that I created, and I was, you know, not wise enough to make sure that I protect my intellectual property. And then I years later say, you know what? I know how the business works. $2 million. All right. I'm gonna listen. I can buy my stuff back for $2 million. Diddy doesn't want to sell it because he knows it's worth much more. Even though he gypped Mace, he gypped him. He gypped him because he only paid him $20K initially. And Diddy said, "Yeah, I'm gonna push this artist, because I know I'm gonna get triple, quadruple the return on my investment." So you see, he put everything was about Mace. His album was good. Promotion was on fleek back in the day. Of course, I invested $20K. Yeah, I'm gonna get this money back. Plus, I'm gonna keep his publishing for 30 years, X amount of years. That's messed up. So, like I said, I want to hear what Diddy has to say. He probably won't address it at all, to be honest, because there isn't anything to say. I mean, all of this stuff can be proven. You know, if you go back in the archives and you listen to some of the Locke's interview, yeah, all these artists ain't telling the same lie. So I don't think anything is gonna happen though. I doubt that. He's gonna be blackballed or anything like that, because he's, put it this way, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm not talking about as it pertains to Mace, but he's appeasing who he needs to appease. So it seems like he is, you know, he's good. So That's so crazy, man. The crazy thing, Diddy really told him to match some European man after offering this man $2 million. You literally, do you see the irony in this, or the hypocrisy in this, y'all? Diddy is preaching about black excellence and us being there for each other and looking out for our own. You literally put a European person, man, woman, who knows, over your own brother, Mace. You totally contradicting yourself, Diddy. Mace made you rich. He made your label hot. He was one of many. And you're telling the Grammys you have 365 days, to get it right as it pertains to black artists, rappers, the genre of hip hop and R&B and rap. You want even playing field. You want, inclusivity. And you literally told Mace after him offering you $2 million, nah, you gotta watch. You gotta match what this white man is offering me. Diddy, are you crazy? That's contradictory and it's hypocritical. So your whole speech is a straight up lie. We don't need no more liars in our community. We don't. You could have just said, thank you. I appreciate this. I appreciate this award. Thank you. It's been a long time coming, and walk off stage. But no, you wanted to get on your Jesse Jackson stuff and preaching and teaching and you literally, do you guys see the hypocrisy? Mind blowing. Diddy, even though you made us dance, even though you introduced us on a musical level to Christopher Wallace, Craig Mack, G. Depp, Mace, Black Rob, Styles P and Jadakiss and Chic. I know I'm naming all men, right? I love my boys. You are a straight up, I hate doing this to my people, but you can be considered a detriment to the black community, Diddy. And this is solely based on your behavior. I'm going to say this one last time. Diddy, in his speech, talked about black inclusivity as it pertains to the Grammys and the music industry, saying that artists work hard to put together music. Talks about artists, producers, executives putting in hard work. He demanded a change from the Grammys within 1 year. He said the music industry needs to get its act together in terms of diversity. This is what he said. This is what he said when he collected his speech, when he accepted his Icon Award. Mace turns around and says, you know what? He's right. Artists need to take back what's theirs. So let's start, Diddy, with you giving me back not giving me, selling me back my publishing. He didn't even say give, and Mace would have been very well within his right to say give me back, because Diddy, you had it for over 20 years and you made mad money off of it. Mace said, I'll pay you $2 million cash money. Diddy turns around and says, nah, $2 million. If you can match what the European man, Mace's words, not mine, is willing to offer, then maybe. But just prior, you were speaking about diversity, inclusivity, and leveling the playing field as it pertains to the music industry, and giving the Grammys a timeline of 1 year to get its act together as it pertains to black artists and the hip hop genre, rap genre, and R&B genre. It's either you truly don't give a blank, and you're just putting on for the city, or you really have no consciousness of what a hypocrite and what contradiction means, or you're on drugs. One of the two. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me today on the Morning Boogie Morning Show with me, Royal B. I normally don't work on Saturdays, but I wanted to come on and talk about this because all things bad boy is right up my alley. So wow, 136 minutes. I want to give a shout out to those who jumped in the chat. Miss Tatiana Connick, you took me to church. Okay, you had me in here preaching. C. Johnson, which is an A1 Day 1 Royal Family member, joined us today. So I definitely appreciate those of you who were in the chat, dropped in the chat, didn't comment. It's all good. I appreciate the view. I appreciate the participation. I appreciate you listening. I don't take anything for granted. I don't. From this point on, I'll do right or correct as many wrongs as I can. That was a comment posted earlier by C. Johnson. And I think that that is a powerful statement, and it speaks to the topic at hand as it pertains to Diddy and Mace. So I wanted to leave that up. No judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. However, being that we are all imperfect, I think that we should all try, for the sake of ourselves, our sanity, and our soul and our spiritual health, that we should all try to correct as many wrongs as we can while we're still here. As you guys have seen this past week, almost a week ago, lives were lost. Kobe Bryant's life was lost. His daughter, as well as the 7 passengers on the helicopter. So that lets you know, yes, death is inevitable. We know that. People pass away all the time. We know that. But the point that I'm making is we don't know the day nor the hour. So while you are here in your right mind, in your sound mind, and you have breath in your body, just try to right or correct as many wrongs as you can. Make this world a better place for you and for me. So Royal Family, I appreciate you coming on. I think this was the best live morning show. Unscripted, unscheduled. Well, it was scheduled, but I had no intention on coming on Saturday. But I'm glad I did. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hopefully you will consider doing so. Make sure you check out my other videos. I do reviews, commentary on social topics. So I don't do voice only videos, just for the live and for the Royal Culture podcast. But if you want to see my beautiful face, make sure you check out my reviews and my other videos on the channel. If you are already subscribed, make sure your notifications are set to all. I say that in every video for a reason, because sometimes there are technical difficulties with the YouTube app. And you want to make sure that anyone that you're subscribed to, you select all if you want to get all of their notifications. So Royal Family, it's the weekend. It's Saturday. So hopefully you guys have a productive Saturday, productive weekend, safe weekend. I know there are going to be a lot of Super Bowl parties. Please be careful, be careful, be careful. Be mindful. Be aware of your surroundings. I'm hoping that everyone goes out and comes back safely and unharmed. I will be watching the Super Bowl halftime show, not necessarily the Super Bowl. So I will probably be back on after the weekend. I might do a video today. I don't know. Got some topics that I want to touch on. So if you are interested in joining the Royal Family, start now by hitting the subscribe button and making sure your notifications are set to all. So I had fun. This was real fun, guys. You guys don't know that you are extremely therapeutic for me. This is a great outlet. I love each and every one of you for rocking out to the end of the live, watching my videos, supporting my channel, commenting. I really do like engaging with you guys. So you could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to, swing by and kick it with me, Royal B. Royal Family, I love you for watching, and God willing, I will see you next time. Until then, peace.